guess you're back again for part 2. Today we're going to be mounting these carbon fiber fender flares from RSI C6. In part 1 we talked about the entire package I got, and today we're going to do maybe a little prep work and hopefully get these things mounted if some stuff comes in time from Amazon, hopefully. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. We'll get moving. I'll talk about the process. Okay, so here are the instructions that I was given from RSI C6, and they go through the steps that I was kind of briefly explaining. Arches should pretty much fit perfectly. You'll have to go and do a little bit of measuring if you have a clubman. We'll get a good 3 centimeters in gain. Let's see, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that it gets into technicalities that we'll get down to. So this right here is where they make their cuts. So you're gonna cut pretty much underneath every. You're gonna cut underneath every mounting point that they have on the car. There you go. Let's see. So it should look like this. Then you're gonna want to prime. Once everything gets primed, you cut 5 centimeters off the hole is what we're gonna end up doing. Pretty much use a grinder, use something to cut it off, but try and cut it nice and clear or clean. And then when you mount it, you'll use some double-sided tape from 3M that I'll get into, and then we'll also use Black Mamba. So I actually got this from Marble and Tile Company up in North Carolina. I'll provide the name later, I can't remember it. When I went to visit Leonardo, he swears by it. I was a little skeptical, but when he dropped his car on the flares, nothing budged. The only thing that happened was the carbon fiber just flexed a little bit, and his car sat on the tires, and it held. And if it works for his car, it's going to work for your car, it's going to work for my car. So that's what I'm going with. I think it's really good stuff. So you'll space out, you know, your glue, little dabs here. And then you line up your bumper and everything, put it on. Tape everything up, let it sit. And that's it. That's how it's supposed to roll. So, alright, what we have, we're working on my 2009 Mini R56S. And we are going to remove this fender, which I already started, or the fender cover. They're held on by clips like that. I don't know if you can see it. Right here, maybe you can see it. Cool. So they're clips kind of like that. Anyway, there's a little light on the OEM that gets connected here, so you just untwist that. There's a clip here that connects to the bumper. There is, so these clips here, like I was showing you, all clip into this piece, like so. If I can see, it clips into here, kind of like that. So there's like little clips here. And then on the side here, there are little mount holes. So hopefully you can see those right here. So right here, right here, right here, right here. There's this guy, which was stubborn to come out, but I'm not really caring about putting these things back, so this thing's probably just gonna get ripped out at one point. And then what I have to do is I have to trim according to the RSI instructions, I have to trim this piece of metal to allow more wheel. And I have to trim, glue, tape, and mount the new fender. So give me 1 second and I will actually go grab the fender I forgot. Alright. So here is the RSI fender flare that I ordered. Came in from Leonardo Di Toni and his team. It's going to slide into here and it's going to go right here. Lines up pretty much perfectly. Might take a little bit of adjustment, but not much. And it should stick perfectly. Then I'll have to get wider wheels so I don't have to do a spacer. Got a bunch of cool stuff coming, like a big brake kit and all kinds of other cool things. But we'll get into that later. Little disclaimer, I've never really cut into my car, as you can see, and I'm very nervous about it. So I'm gonna go get the instructions and we're gonna do some prep work from here and protect all this metal because I don't want to have to paint the entire car. This bumper will probably just come off, and anything else, if there's any little bit of rust, I will show you some pictures that I've taken throughout the video of what I'm talking about. But apparently my original fender cover rubbed up along the body and started scuffing it up, and apparently there's a little bit of rust starting on some of these panels, and because these flares are getting put on and they are getting pretty much glued on, they're not coming off, in my opinion. I don't plan on taking them off, so that's it. I'll be back with the rest shortly. So while it actually prints, talk about a couple pieces here. So here are the little side marker lights. They just twist in. I will figure out how to block off this. I believe if you put the wires together, I think I need to make sure, but there's a way to just make it not give you a light bulb warning. And I guess you could always get creative if you're brave enough to drill into the carbon fiber and somehow put some sort of cool light or something. If you want to do that, that's all up to you. Or maybe even use this thing to light something up on the inside. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. We'll get creative. Inside, you have. Can you see those pieces right there? Hot shirt. Hot light. All right. So let me see if I can get that in my in view. So under the wheel, I kind of already started before I decided to record. So under the wheel, you have your, I guess, inside protector or inner cowling or whatever. But you're gonna have to remove some clips, which mostly look like this. So this guy squeezes together, goes to the hole on most of them, unless it's an actual screw, but it would push through, and then you would push or screw that in to the center, and it keeps this spread into the body so it doesn't fall out while you drive. And all this stuff protects the insides from getting sandblasted. So you got a bunch of those little things, and they're all over the place, and then you have a couple actual like screws which look like this. I think actually these might have gone. One goes back here, and the other goes up top here. There's one almost straight back up here in the center, I believe. There's one back here at about 10 o'clock-ish. And then you have one hidden one down here underneath that holds that side skirt to this. That's all I got right now until I can start taking things apart or getting my instructions out. But the first thing, like I said, is we're gonna prep. We're gonna make sure we measure. Jeff's gonna give me a hand, we're gonna measure. And we're gonna prep this car so sparks go flying but don't tear anything up. Make sure there aren't any fumes, no gas, nothing like that around. Be safe. That should stick. Alright, so I think I said I was going to use plastic earlier, but I'm going to actually use the paper that came in with my shipment of carbon fiber parts. We're going to put it, tape it, and then cut where we need to cut. And pretty much call it a day. Just nervous. One day maybe the Charleston Mini Club will have its own shop. Never know. Think big. Yeah, that's true. Any sponsors out there would be fantastic. We'll get there. That looks like the front.
Yeah.
So he cut literally enough to where that is.
It was along this. Looks like you literally cut just like along the whole bottom of this.
Yeah, but like he even cuts like, look at that, that's your big hole. So he like literally cuts like somewhere about right there.
He's like right in the bottom.
I would almost want to say he cuts about 5 millimeters below. Okay.
So just measure 5 millimeters up from each section
each hole.
From each hole, and then make a mark, and that way you can run the tape along that.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, you know, it's being real. You know.
See, these are the things that you kind of have to think about if you're going to do the work yourself. But it's more fun than paying somebody a couple thousand to do it.
Got a 50-50 chance of it going good and going bad.
I mean, 50-50, those are pretty good odds. No, I definitely, I will let you know how this goes when I'm done. So this is what I'm saying.
Is that gonna work?
Yeah, that can go.
Okay.
I need to. Not that it matters, because it'll be underneath, but what did we say? We said about
5 mil.
5 mil. So that's here. Where does it go here, though? I guess when I just kind of...
Yeah, sure.
Just kind of lop it like that.
I guess, yeah. That's a good line, though. That's nice.
Thanks. Not much of an artist. So it's going to be a little less than 5 mil, I think, because that hole's bigger. But I want to leave it to where... I don't know what that hole's there for, actually. I don't think anything really went in it. But from the little holes...
It saves weight.
Saves weight, gives it color. That's right. Man, never really saw myself doing this to my car. And then I went racing once. These are kind of just sort of little eyeball marks. Just to sort of give me a line. Alright, so pretty much through my cut line. I'm kind of happy with it. Think that looks good?
I think it was pretty straight.
I think it actually looks really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And I don't want to mess with the structure here. I think that's valuable. So don't cut into any of that bend really. Try and stay below that bend. Keep it strong. Pretty much the only thing you're going to take out is this. And now
Stick.
Oh, you didn't like that. So do it almost polygon-like?
Yeah, it's easier to do it like this with
Like
the
straight lines going across?
Yeah. So like
I see.
here. I'm gonna hang up.
Almost like
Allow
that.
me. Yeah. Sure. I probably should introduce myself, shouldn't I?
I'll introduce you.
All
This
right.
is Jeff. He is our social media guy
And Cara.
and car guy, and he has some bodywork experience, which I am so ever lucky to get lucky to where I have a little bit of guidance. So if you know
I
any,
don't really know what I'm doing though.
that's okay. We're both mechanical. We'll figure it out. I'm not afraid there. So what Jeff is doing is he's going slightly above the line and taping away. We're gonna probably tape it a couple times to make sure that it's protected. This way if I skip a beat, it doesn't go. Hopefully I don't do that. No, hope not.
Yeah, you do, you won't see it.
Not if I hit here.
Hopefully you don't skip it that much.
That's what I mean.
Look at that.
That's what I mean. I'll probably tape it and tape it some more.
Yeah.
Just to, like a warning track in baseball. It really just looks like he just kind of, seriously, it looks like he just almost eyeballed it.
But he's probably done this a billion times.
Yeah. I kind of like the yellow.
New color scheme.
Dark silver.
Yeah. They went lame and lame on that color. Didn't they?
Yeah,
I mean-
I kind of like how they called chili pepper red.
Yeah, chili red.
Oh, is that what it
Yeah,
is?
chili red.
Chili red?
And it's
Oh
peppermint
no, it's
white.
peppermint white or
Peppermint
whatever. Pepper. I call it pepper jack white.
Pepper jack. I'm nervous for you. I'll put it that way. Honestly. Because I can like... Yeah, I mean, if it was my car, I'd be nervous. I'd be nervous.
I think once I make my first cut though.
I mean, yeah. You know, I mean, I wouldn't worry about it.
No sweat.
You're good. You're fine. You got this. No, you're good. You're good.
I need to go get... Alright, instructions should definitely be done. Need to actually go get a ruler and a pen. So give me a second. I am very unprepared this morning. You nervous, Jeff?
Ain't my car.